Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. So yesterday we have seen pesticide formulation. What is a pesticide formulation? Why we are going for pesticide formulation? What are the different kinds of formulation? We started with solid formulation and we discussed about dust, one of the oldest forms of pesticide formulation, which contains only active ingredient and carrier. Sometimes an adjuvant is added. I think you are familiar with the term formulant and adjuvant now. Now, late next we have seen vegetable powder or water dispersible powder. The abbreviation is WP. It is a fine powder, maximum of 10 micron size because it needs to be sprayed onto the crop. But it has, along with active ingredient and carrier, it will have invariably will have an adjuvant, a surfactant and a dispersing agent so that it can be sprayed over the crop. Then we discussed about granule where the particle size is higher, the particle size is greater than 80 micrometer, and there is along with active ingredient and carrier we have a binder to it that is adjoined to make that granule intact so that it doesn't form fine powder. Okay, have you discussed water dispersible granule yesterday? Don't think so. I don't know exactly. Yes or no? നമ്മൾ ഇന്നലെ water dispersible granule. Okay, yes, we have discussed about water dispersible granule. What about soluble powder? Soluble powder പറഞ്ഞോ നമ്മൾ ഇന്നലെ. Okay, we will start with soluble powder then. Okay, just as the name indicates, this is a powder, but unlike our water dispersible powder, as the name indicates, it is soluble in water. That means it forms a true solution. WP, we mix it with water, it forms a dispersion or suspension. But here it's a powder, but it forms a true solution. There won't be a problem of settling down. Usually, this kind of pesticides has a high percentage of active ingredients. Say, take acephate. The concentration is 75%. That means if you take 100 gram of the formulation, it will have 75 gram of the pesticide. So the advantage is that it is pretty easy to mix because once we add to water, it forms a solution. There is no need for frequent agitation and all. And since it is a solution, it doesn't cause any damage to the equipment. But if you use a water dispersible powder or a vegetable powder, WP formulation, we have fine particles, and these fine particles can cause small damage to the spraying equipment. And as I already told you, there is no need for agitation because it is a solution, not a dispersion and suspension. And it is pretty easy to store, transport, and handle. That is the same advantages that is WP formulation. So it overcomes certain disadvantages of WP formulation that is pretty easy to fix. No agitation is required. It doesn't cause any damage to the equipment. And one advantage common to WP and soluble powder formulation is it is easy to store, transport, and handle. But one disadvantage still remains that of WP, that is inhalation hazard. Because we are handling a powder, there is a chance of inhalation. So that inhalation hazard still persists. But for a pesticide to be formulated as soluble powder, The active ingredient should invariably be soluble in water. It should be invariably soluble in water. Otherwise, if it is if the active ingredient that the pesticide molecule is is insoluble in water, we cannot formulate it as a soluble powder, because as such the active ingredient won't dissolve in water. So, in order to avoid the inhalation hazard, we can formulate a soluble powder formulation into a water soluble granule SG formulation, soluble granule formulation, just like we have formulated WG formulation, water dispersible granule. We have we have vegetable powder formulation, but since it is a powder, there is a chance of inhalation hazard. So we made it into we made it into small granules, and we made water dispersible granules so that inhalation hazard is reduced. In the same manner, soluble powder formulation, we made it into soluble granule, water soluble granule. So this granule also, once we add to water, it forms a true solution, just like soluble powder. Only thing is that soluble powder is a powder, soluble granule is a granule. Everything remains the same. The advantage is that there is no inhalation hazard. One pesticide is the imamectin benzoate. It is available in soluble granule formulation. Then we have water disposable powder for slurry treatment. Have you ever come across any seeds given by Krishi Bhavan, VFPCK, etc.? Yes or no? I think during lockdown and all, you might have received some vegetable packets from Krishi Bhavan. Yes. What is the color of the seed? Does it have the same color of the true color of the seed? If you take a cowpea seed, does it have the true color of a cowpea seed? No. No. Why we are giving a red color, sometimes pink, okay, so many colors are there, green and all is there. Why we are giving a coloring to that seed? What is the purpose of giving a color? Yes, as Andren just correctly pointed out, it is a treated seed. That means we mostly, when seeds are treated with any seed treatment chemical, mostly with seed treatment chemicals, so in order to prevent the deterioration of the seed, in order to prolong the seed quality. So take cowpea. If you treat the seed and give it to any farmer, if a farmer accidentally consumes it, it can cause health hazards. So in order to prevent the accidental consumption of seeds which are treated with pesticides, we give some color coating to it so that we can easily identify that it is a treated seed. Another thing is that if it is colored, normally no one will take it for consumption. So that's why we have a color for treating seed. So here, this is nothing but we have a formulation called as water dispersible powder for slurry treatment. This is nothing but a dispersible powder, WP formulation. But this WP formulation is meant for seed treatment. I will repeat, it is nothing but a WP formulation, water dispersible formulation, and we use it for seed treatment purpose. So what we will do, we will take a water dispersible powder. What are all the ingredients of active composition? What is the composition of a vegetable powder formulation? What all things are there in a vegetable powder formulation? Do you remember? Any pesticide formulation, one thing you can easily add. What is that? The first thing any pesticide formulation should have is Active ingredient. Active ingredient, carrier, and yes, good. Active ingredient, carrier, surfactant, and adjuvant. Yes. So here also the same thing is there. Active ingredient, carrier, surfactant, and adjuvant is there. One more thing is added, that is a formulant, not an adjuvant. That formulant is a coloring agent. Because this coloring agent, this formulant that is coloring agent does not improve any physical or chemical properties of the pesticide formulation. This is just to impart a color to it. So I think you are familiar, you understand what is a WS formulation. Water dispersible powder for slurry treatment. It's nothing but a wettable powder formulation containing a formulant that is a coloring agent. So how it is used? We will take the formulation, we will add into a small quantity of water, we will make a slurry, and we will add seed into that slurry and we will mix it. Have you? No, you might not have seen it. Oh, നമ്മൾ പഴംപൊരി ഉണ്ടാക്കല്ലേ? So we will prepare a batter. അല്ലെ, നമ്മൾ മാവ് വെള്ളത്തിൽ കുഴയ്ക്കും, പഴം അതിൽ മുക്കും, എണ്ണയിലിട്ട് വറുത്തെടുക്കും. So in the same manner, that batter is extremely thick. ആ മാവ് നമ്മൾ വെള്ളത്തിൽ കുറച്ച് വെള്ളത്തിലാണ് കുഴയ്ക്കുന്നത്. In the same manner, we will take very small quantity of water, we will add pesticide, the WS formulation into it, we will make a slurry, a thick slurry we will make, we will add seed to it, mix it so that all the seeds are evenly coated with that slurry. That's the way we do it. So here one thing is that we use very little water and we add a large quantity of pesticide so that it forms a slurry. So usually this imidacloprid 70 Ws, imidacloprid 70 Ws, that formulation is used at the rate of 5 to 10 gram per kg of seed. 5 to 10 gram per kg of seed. We will take hardly 20 or 30 ml of water. We will add 5 to 10 gram of this imidacloprid into it, and we will make a slurry and we will treat the seed. Otherwise, the imidacloprid, another formulation is the imidacloprid, that is 70Wg formulation, 70Wg, water dispersible granule. That we normally for spray, that is used for spraying purpose, and that is used at the rate of 1 gram per 10 liter of water, 1 gram per 10 liter of water. But for seed treatment, we are using it at a higher rate. Hope you understood what is a WS formulation. Yes or no? I'll be moving over to liquid formulation now. Okay. So in the liquid formulation, the first formulation is an emulsifiable concentrate, EC formulation. That is one of the most common pesticide formulation available in the market. See, remember that this is the name of the formulation is emulsifiable concentrate. That means it is emulsifiable. That means that formulation can be emulsified. It's not actually an emulsion. As such, it is not an emulsion. Have you ever seen a pesticide such as Ecalex, chlorpyrifos, or anything? Have you ever handled a pesticide bottle? If someone has handled any pesticide bottle, just name that brand also. Yes, maybe which pesticide you have handled? Regent. Okay, Regent is SC formulation. It's not EC. Anyone handled Ecalex, chlorpyrifos, dimethoate, karate, lambda, fenvalerate? Anyone? Anuranj, just a minute. I will. No, you haven't. Just a minute. Just a minute. I will show you how a easy formulation looks like. It's actually that formulation is a true solution. The pesticide product that you purchase from the shop is a true solution. It's not an emulsion. But once that formulation you add to water, it forms an emulsion. It forms an emulsion. So I will show you how does it looks like. That is an emulsifiable concentrate. Emulsifiable concentrate. So what does it happen is once you add water to that emulsifiable concentrate, immediately the color of that changes to white in nature. It becomes a milky white emulsion. Yes. Can you see this? Yes or no? Some liquid in this beaker. It's a true solution. Yes. I will just add water to it. This is a true solution. There is no emulsion. I can see if you go see it when you come for practicals. I will show you. It's a pure solution. There is nothing inside it. Let my lab fellow brings water. I will show you what will happen once we add water to it. So once we add water to it, okay, one thing I will do is this is plain water. I am adding the pesticide into it. See what happens. Did you notice the change in color? What is the color now? White, yes. This is an emulsion. Just a minute, I will mix it. See this now. I just mixed it. It becomes a milky white emulsion. So, so it becomes a milky white emulsion. So this is what actually that formulation. What I took that pesticide was a deltamethrin EC formulation. That was nothing but a pure solution. But once we add into water, it becomes milky white in color. How does that happen? Actually, we go for emulsifiable concentrate formulation when the pesticide is insoluble. That is, the active ingredient is insoluble in water. When the active ingredient is insoluble in water. So we have to find some way out. So this active ingredient, what we will do is we will dissolve it in any other solvent. We will dissolve in any other solvent. We discussed about polar, non-polar, etc. Say mostly these pesticides are non-polar in nature. That means it is not at all soluble in water. So we will mix it with a non-polar solvent, any other solvent, petroleum-based solvent, which is non-polar in nature, so that the pesticide easily dissolves. But again, the problem comes. This non-polar solvent as well as the non-polar pesticide molecule won't get dissolved in the polar water, which is used commonly for spraying a crop. So what we will do is we will add a emulsifying agent. We will add an emulsifying agent into it, so that this emulsifying agent, usually we have a call it as surfactant. Surfactant. So this surfactant, what does it do is this surfactant has two ends. One is a hydrophilic end, the other one is a hydrophobic end. The same molecule will have a hydrophobic part and a hydrophilic part. So what will happen is that it will surround the non-polar oil particle in such a manner that the hydrophobic part will be facing the oil part and the hydrophilic part will be facing the water solution, the aqueous media. So these oil droplets will become dispersed in the water. We have a oil, we add a surfactant into it, and we will mix it. Once we mix it, the oil will get broken down into very fine droplets. Once it is broken down into fine droplets, what we'll do is we have added a surfactant into it. That surfactant, it has both hydrophilic and hydrophobic end. This hydrophobic end will of the surfactant will get attached to the oil molecule, and the hydrophilic end will be directed towards the water medium, aqueous medium, so that this oil droplets will remain dispersed in the water aqueous medium. So this is what normally happens. So this is how an emulsifiable concentrate is prepared. So here the composition includes active ingredient. There will be invariably be a solvent, because the active ingredient will not dissolve in water. We need a solvent to dissolve active ingredient. We will invariably have an emulsifier, so that's to form an emulsion, usually a surfactant kind of thing. And we will have some auxiliary materials such as stabilizers, stickers, deformers, etc. These deformers are added because once an emulsion is formed, usually there will be foaming in the spray solution. കീടനാശിനി നിങ്ങൾ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചോന്നറിയില്ല, if you mix it, it forms foam. So that foaming is a non-desirable character. So we use some deformers to it so as to reduce the foaming nature of the spray solution. So this is with respect to an easy formulation. One thing in this surfactant, you all are familiar with the detergent brand name Surf. Surf എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ brand name നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വളരെ familiar അല്ലേ, detergent. This brand name Surf originated from the name surfactant. The brand name Surf originated from the term surfactant, because what does a soap does? നമ്മള് സർഫിന്റെ പരസ്യത്തിൽ എന്താ കാണുന്നത്? കറി എടുക്കുന്നു, കറി മുഴുവൻ എന്താണ് ഒരാള് ഭക്ഷണത്തിന്റെ വലിയ പാത്രവുമായിട്ട് വരുന്നു, സ്റ്റെപ്പ് കയറാൻ പ്രയാസപ്പെടുന്നു, കുട്ടികളെല്ലാം ഈ പാത്രങ്ങളെല്ലാം ചുമന്ന് മുകളിൽ ഫ്ലാറ്റിൽ എത്തിക്കുന്നു, ശരീരത്തിൽ മുഴുവൻ എണ്ണയും മെഴുക്കും ആവുന്നു. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ക്ലീൻഡ് വിത്ത് വാഷ്ഡ് വിത്ത് സർഫാക്ടന്റ്. ഒറ്റ മിനിറ്റ്. So it is we use it is കറ നല്ലതാണ്, സർഫ് എക്സൽ വെച്ച് വാഷ് ചെയ്യും. So what does that surf excel does in that? The oil which is sticking onto the cloth, if you try to wash it in water, it won't go away because the oil is insoluble in water. Any soluble thing, it is okay. Once you wash it in water, it get solubilized in water and we can remove it easily from your cloth. But if you have an oil which is attached to your cloth, you need invariably you need a surfactant, because what does the surfactant will do? The surfactant will bind one end of the surfactant, which is hydrophobic in nature, will bind to the oil particle, while the other end will be attached to the water. You add soap solution in, you take water in a bucket, add some surf or any other detergent into it, dip the cloth into it. So all the surf molecules or the surfactant molecules, the hydrophilic end will be directed towards the water and the hydrophobic end will be attached to the oil, and this oil can be easily removed. Did you understand how a surfactant works? This is the same principle which we use here. And because of this forming property of the surfactant, we usually use deformers. Are you clear how a surfactant works? Yes. Okay. So if you see an emulsifiable concentrate formulation, I told you it's a homogeneous formulation. Homogeneous formulation, actually it is a solution. That is, it is homogeneous. And it forms an emulsion upon dilution with water. That we have seen how it forms an emulsion. And it is a solution of active ingredient and surfactant in water immiscible solvent, which in addition to water forms oil in water emulsion. I will describe it, explain it. It is a solution. The formulation is nothing but a solution that we discussed. It contains active ingredient which is dissolved in a water immiscible solvent, which is dissolved in a solvent which is not at all soluble in water. Immiscible means insoluble in water. We can write it in the water insoluble solvent, water immiscible. Actually, the better term is immiscible. If you can write it immiscible, that is better. That means it doesn't mix with water. That is the exact meaning of immiscible. So we have an active ingredient and it is mixed with, it is solubilized in a water immiscible solvent along with the surfactant. So it is a solution. The formulation is nothing but a solution of active ingredient, water immiscible solvent, and a surfactant. But once we add this solution into water, it forms an emulsion. It forms an emulsion. And that emulsion is oil in water, because water, we take hardly 2 ml of this pesticide, we add to 1 liter of water. So the basic media, continuous, we call it as continuous or external phase. The large quantity, that is water. We add small quantity of EC formulation into it. And that EC formulation nothing but water immiscible pesticide and a water immiscible solvent. So that is nothing but oil. So it forms an emulsion of oil in water. So we call it as oil in water emulsion. The particle size is extremely small, 2 microns. So oil in water we discussed, it is a continuous or external phase is water and the discontinuous phase is oil. Just a minute, I will show you how it will be. See, take this as a beaker. This is water, you filled it with water. So the continuous phase or external phase is water. We will add a small quantity of EC formulation into it. So that EC formulation, we have small droplets of EC. So it should be small, extremely small. It is 2 micron particle size. And all these particles will be oil particles will be surrounded by that surfactant. Just a minute. See, this is how that green color one what I am drawing is a surfactant. Could you see it? The surfactant molecule looks like this. It will have a head and a tail. Usually the head is hydrophobic and the tail is hydrophilic in nature. This part is hydrophobic and this part is hydrophilic. So what will happen is that this emulsion, the small oil droplets will be there. It will be surrounded all around by the surfactant in such a manner that this hydrophobic end will be surrounding the oil and the hydrophilic end will be directed towards water. So what is the advantage of adding a surfactant is that this droplets is stable because the oil is not at all coming into contact with water. So otherwise what it will happen is that you try to add oil to water. Have you ever prepared any neem oil emulsion, neem oil garlic emulsion? നിങ്ങൾ ജൈവ കീടനാശിനിയാണെന്നും പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് എപ്പോഴും പഠിക്കുന്ന ഒരു സാധനമാണ് neem oil garlic emulsion. Yes, Pranav. Okay. How you prepared it? Just quickly. Pranav ആണെങ്കിൽ ഒന്ന് അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് പറഞ്ഞു. ജസ്റ്റ് തെറ്റിക്കോട്ടെ, അതൊന്നും കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല.
മിക്സ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിലേക്ക് ആഡ് ചെയ്യുക.
ഏത് ഓയിൽ വേപ്പെണ്ണ എടുത്തു?
വെള്ളത്തില് 50 ഗ്രാം ബാർ സോപ്പ് ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇതിലേക്ക് മിക്സ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുക.
അവിടെ പ്രണവ് പറഞ്ഞൊരു കാര്യം പ്രത്യേകം നോട്ട് ചെയ്യുക. വേപ്പെണ്ണ എടുത്തു, ബാർ സോപ്പ് ആഡ് ചെയ്തു. സോ ദ പർപ്പസ് ഈസ് ഇമൾഷൻ. സോപ്പ് എല്ലാം സർഫാക്ടന്റ് ആണ്. ആ സർഫാക്ടന്റ് ആഡ് ചെയ്ത് പ്രണവ് എണ്ണ ആദ്യം വെള്ളത്തിലേക്ക് ഒഴിച്ചു നോക്കിയിരുന്നോ? അപ്പൊ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? അത് അങ്ങനെ സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നിൽക്കും. സോപ്പ് ആഡ് ചെയ്ത് നന്നായിട്ട് മിക്സ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിയുമ്പോ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? This oil, this neem oil will break down into fine droplets and these fine droplets will get surrounded by the surfactant or the soap. All the soaps are surfactants. But one thing is that when you prepare neem oil garlic emulsion, one thing you should keep in mind is that if you keep this thing for a longer time, say about 30 or 35 minutes, these droplets started because that soap, the normal bar soap and all which we use for emulsifying neem oil is not that a very good surfactant. So that this emulsion will break. That means it will break and the oil droplets started coalescing. Once the oil droplets started coalescing, it again forms a layer of separated. The oil will form a separate layer at the top of the water. പ്രണവിനെ അടുത്ത തവണ ചെയ്തു നോക്കുമ്പോ ഒരു കാര്യം നോക്കുക, ഇത് മിക്സ് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ച് ഒരു 10 മിനിറ്റ് വെച്ച് നോക്കുക, വെറുതെ 10-15 മിനിറ്റ്. Then you can see after about 10-15 minutes this oil will be forming a small layer on the water surface. പ്രണവ് അങ്ങനെ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചിരുന്നു?
Yes, sir.
That is because the emulsion has broken down. That's why we usually recommend farmers mix it thoroughly with soap solution, use it immediately. If you don't use it immediately, that emulsion will be gone and you won't get the oil and water will be separate and you won't get the good results. So that is, hope you understood how an emulsion works. A reverse thing can also happen. Sometimes what we will do is we take continuous phase. Instead of water in a beaker or a bucket, we will take oil and we will add water, a water-based pesticide into it, so that it will be water in oil emulsion. It will be water in oil emulsion. We call it as invert emulsions also. It's pretty less that kind of formulations. The several easy formulations are there. I will discuss just one example, that is Quinalphos 25 EC. And we will see the advantage. It is relatively easy to transport, handle and store because these are small bottles. it will not settle out or separate, just like WP or WG, water dispersible granule formulation. It will not settle or separate, so there is no agitation is required. Normally, if you have a very good emulsifier, the emulsion will remain stable for a longer period, and we don't have any particles, solid particles. The particle size is 2 micron, so hence it is not at all abrasive in nature. Since we don't have any solid particles, it does not clog the nozzles, and it will not leave any residues on the treated surface. So it removes the disadvantage, most of the disadvantages of a WP formulation. No agitation is required. It is easy to handle, transport, and store. It is not at all abrasive to the equipment. It will not clog the nozzle, and it will not leave any residues on the treated surface. But there are certain disadvantages. The most of the disadvantages are associated with the use of that petroleum based solvent that is an integral part of a EC formulation. This petroleum based solvent can cause phytotoxicity. That means it can cause burning of the leaf surface. That's why if someone of you have tried neem oil formulation without neem oil garlic emulsion without emulsifying it properly, then you can see scorching of the leaf. Leaf പതുക്കെ കരിഞ്ഞു പോകുന്നുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങളൊരു നീം ഓയിൽ എടുത്ത് വെള്ളത്തിൽ കലക്കി സോപ്പ് ശരിക്കും ചേർത്തില്ല, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സോപ്പ് ചേർത്ത് ശരിക്കും മിക്സ് ചെയ്തില്ല, സ്പ്രേ ചെയ്തു, ഇലയിൽ ചെറിയ കരിച്ചില് കാണിക്കും. So that is phytotoxicity. So this solvent, organic solvent can cause phytotoxicity, and because of the presence of this solvent, it is easily absorbed through the skin of the human beings and animals. So the toxicity to human beings is a bit high compared to other formulation, and these solvents can affect the rubber and plastic parts of the sprayers which we use. And almost all the petroleum based solvents are inflammable, can easily catch fire. That is another thing. And these petroleum based products are corrosive in nature. It can damage the sprayers. So almost all the disadvantages are associated with solvents such as phytotoxicity, inflammability, corrosiveness, damaging rubber and plastic parts of the sprayers, and it can easily get absorbed through skin of humans and animals. So we have come out with a formulation called suspension concentrate or wet flowable. Ebi was telling about a pesticide called as Regent. That Regent is an SC formulation. So this suspension concentrate, as the name indicates, it is a suspension of active ingredient. The pesticide bottle that you get is nothing but a suspension. So the active ingredient is suspended in a liquid, and this suspension of active ingredient in a liquid is diluted with water and sprayed. This is used when the active ingredient or the pesticide molecule does not dissolve in either water or oil. That means does not dissolve in either polar solvents or non-polar solvents. So what we will do? The active ingredient is a solid and it does not dissolve in water or oil. So what we will do is the solid will be finely powdered and it will be impregnated into fine clays or any fine powder like substances. That means we will mix that active ingredient into fine, along with fine powder, just like we do for WP formulation, and this powder is then suspended in small amount of liquid. This is then suspended in small amount of liquid, and this liquid can be water or any other organic solvents, but normally this is suspended in water. Most of this suspension concentrate formulations are water based. That means we'll take a small amount of water, we'll make a suspension of the active ingredient and its carrier in that small water quantity, and that suspension is diluted with water for spray. Because of the very small particle size, it is finely powdered, that is less than 2 micron. It does not clog the nozzles, And because of the very small particle size, though agitation is required, doesn't require the agitation as that of WP formulation. WP formulation, the particle size is about 10 micron. Here it is 2 microns. So since it is smaller in size, agitation is not required. And as I told you, we can use water or any organic solvents for preparing the suspension concentrate formulation. One formulation is chlorantraniliprole 18.5 SC. I'll ask Abhi, what was the color of that region when you handled it? ആ റീജന്റെ എടുത്തപ്പോ എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു അത്? എന്തായിരുന്നു കളർ? ഹൗ ഡസ് ദാറ്റ് ഫോർമുലേഷൻ ലുക്ക് ലൈക്ക്? എബി ഇല്ലേ? ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നല്ലോ. ആ എബി ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. Okay. Okay. So it looks like a white mic complaint ആണ്. Okay. എങ്ങനെ ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്താൽ മതി. എന്തായിരുന്നു കളർ? എന്തായിരുന്നു കളർ? എന്നാണ് ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്തോ? വൈറ്റ്. അതിങ്ങനെ നല്ലൊരു ഫ്രീ ഫ്ലോയിങ് സൊല്യൂഷൻ ആയിരുന്നു, അത് തിക്ക് ആയിട്ടായിരുന്നു ഇരുന്നത്? Bit thick, yes. This is what a suspension concentrate formulation looks like. It is a thick slurry like kind of thing. So what is we are taking a small amount of water or any organic solvent and we are adding very fine powder and making it in a of active ingredient and a carrier into it, and we are making it into a suspension. So it is usually a thick slurry kind of thing. Usually the color is white in nature. We will see it in the practicals. How does it looks like? So the advantages is that the active ingredient is insoluble in water. Still, we can mix it with water and spray. Since it is a liquid formulation, there is no inhalation hazard. Since there is no petroleum-based solvent, mostly I told you, mostly it is water-based. Hence, there is no chance of phytotoxicity and inflammability. But the disadvantage is that since it is a suspension, it can leave some residue, just like a water disposable powder, wettable powder formulation, and agitation is little bit needed. And because of the presence of fine solid particles, it can be abrasive to the sprayer. So the advantages are it can be mixed with water, no phytotoxicity, no inflammability, no inhalation hazard. But some disadvantages of wettable powder formulation may remain. That is, it can leave some residue. Sometimes agitation is needed, and it can cause abrasions to the sprayer. Coming to soluble liquid, it is one of the pretty easy thing. If you have a water soluble pesticide, prepare a soluble liquid. If you have a liquid active ingredient which is soluble in water, one of the easiest formulation to make is a soluble liquid. It is a water-based formulation with a water-soluble active ingredient. Mix that active ingredient in water, add some adjuvants into it, just like surfactants and all, so that it can easily spread over the waxy leaf surface. It will easily solubilize in water. There is no emulsion formation, suspension formation and all. So it mixes easily with water, requires minimal agitation. But the disadvantages is that slightly expensive formulation, and because it is water-based, it wetting and spreading properties are a bit low, because I told you leaves have waxy coating. Since the entire thing is polar or water soluble, the water may not spread evenly on the leaf surface. So we may usually add some wetting agents to it. Some wetting agent to it so that it can spread evenly to it. And it has very poor rainfastness. That means it is solubilized in water. So once you spray it, immediately after 2 hours or within 2 or 3 hours, if there is a rainfall, the entire pesticide will get washed away in rain. So that is one disadvantage, soluble liquid. Then comes micro emulsion. This is nothing but an emulsion, but the particle size is extremely small. In an emulsion formulation, we discussed that the particle size is about 2 micron. Here see the particle size, it is 0.01 micron. Here you can see the difference. This is the emulsion formulation. See, as I shown you, demonstrated you, when it is emulsion is mixed with water, it forms a milky white color. But as the particle size decreases, if the emulsion size decreases, it becomes a transparent solution. So hence these all are micro emulsions. That means the particle size of emulsion is extremely small. See here, these micro emulsions are nothing but water-based formulation, but containing a water insoluble pesticide. A water insoluble pesticide is emulsified in a water and sold as micro emulsions. വെള്ളത്തിൽ ലയിക്കാത്ത ഒരു കീടനാശിനി ആക്റ്റീവ് ഇൻഗ്രീഡിയന്റിനെ മൈക്രോ ഇമൾഷൻ ആക്കി ഫോമുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. മൈക്രോ ഇമൾഷൻ ആക്കി വെള്ളത്തിൽ തന്നെ മൈക്രോ ഇമൾഷൻ ആക്കി. So this advantage is that we can avoid the use of petroleum based solvent. So once you dilute it with spray fluid, it becomes transparent. Otherwise it will get, if it is a macro emulsion, particle size is more, it will form that milky white in color. Since the particle size is extremely small, this efficacy is also more. But we don't have much pesticides with this formulation. Another new formulation is oil dispersion, where as the name indicates, the active ingredient is dispersed in oil and formulated. Just like what in micro in suspension concentrate, SC formulation, the active ingredient is dispersed in water. Here in oil dispersion, the active ingredient is dispersed in oil. So that's oil dispersion. We have one pesticide, new pesticide, cyanotronic in oil dispersion formulation. So this is with respect to pesticide formulation. Any doubt? So we have 10 more minutes. I will just start new generation pesticides because time is a bit short. That's why. Otherwise, I may take more and more classes, and you will get bored with this chemical pesticide daily morning dose of pesticide. So this is just an introduction to new generation pesticides. So yesterday and today we have seen pesticide formulation. Before that we have seen the old generation pesticide, organochlorine, organophosphate, carbamate and synthetic pyrethroids. I told you from 1990s onwards we had a wave of pesticides which are extremely different from the older organochlorine, organophosphate, carbamate and synthetic pyrethroids. So let's see what is new generation pesticides. Just a minute, I will present the screen. Okay. So let's first see a comparison between new generation pesticides with respect to old generation pesticides. The older pesticides, all of them are broad spectrum in nature. That means if you spray any older pesticide, say any pyrethroid and all, it will kill all the insects in that area, irrespective of whether it is a beneficial insect or it is a pest of crop. So all of them are broad spectrum in nature. But the newer insecticides, these are extremely specific in nature. That means there are pesticides, new molecule which will kill only caterpillars. It won't affect any other insect group. It will specifically affect caterpillars. And there are certain pesticides which will specifically affect sucking pests, which are sucking type of mouthparts. So these new molecules are extremely specific. That is a very high advantage because broad spectrum insecticides can cause some damage to environment because it will kill non-target organisms. We are targeting to kill a pest, but it will kill natural enemies, beneficial insects present in that cropping system also. But newer molecules, if you have a sucking pest, use an insecticide which is specific to sucking pest. It doesn't cause any damage to other organisms. So that is very much targeted use of pesticide. Another thing, old pesticides was having high dosage. Usually we recommend it at the rate of 2 ml per liter and all. The newer insecticides, it is almost 10 times low dose is usually required. Usually it is recommended at 2 to 3 ml per 10 liters. Older insecticide we used to use it at 2 ml per liter, but most of the newer insecticides are used at a very low dose, 2 ml per liter, 3 ml per, not 2 ml per 10 liter, 3 ml per 10 liter. So the quantity of the insecticide used is very low. That is an advantage. Any pesticide is a chemical. So if you can use the amount, reduce the amount of chemical, it is advantageous. Then almost all the older insecticides were available in EC or WP formulation. EC or WP formulations, you know, EC is emulsifiable concentrate, WP is wettable powder formulation. All are old formulations, but most of the newer insecticides are mostly in WG, water dispersible granule, SC, suspension concentrate formulation, etc. And all generation pesticides are toxic to insects as well as toxic to human beings. See the case of Viridine, see the case of Forate, methylparathione, monocrotophos, all of them are extremely toxic chemicals. But new molecules are relatively low toxic, doesn't have much toxicity to human beings. Older insecticides are cheaper, but newer insecticides have high cost because most of the newer insecticides, that patent is with multinational companies. Since it is patented, they charge huge. So high cost is there for new molecules. And most of the old insecticides were acting on nervous system. We told organochlorines, DDT acts on sodium channel, cyclodines act on GABA-gated chloride channels, OP carbamates act on acetylcholine esterase, and synthetic pyrethroids act on, just like DDT, act on sodium channels. All of them are acting on nervous system. But we have new molecules which are acting on diverse targets. Some are acting on muscles, some are acting on electron transport chain, etc. So the target sites are different. So the because of the different target sites, the products become more and more safe to human beings. Say if a product which is acting on insect muscles, it is comparatively safe to human beings because the muscular system of humans as well as insects are entirely different. But the nervous system is almost the same. So any insecticide acting on the insect nervous system can have a similar kind of toxicity to human beings because nervous system is almost similar. But muscular system, yeah, humans and insects are different. So an insecticide targeting on muscular system in insects won't have any adverse effect on human beings. And with the continuous use of pesticides, the old insecticides, against the old insecticides, insect developed resistance. They were not working in the field. Insect will develop resistance. Insect have the ability to do so, develop resistance to insecticides. But new molecules, since they have new target sites, new mechanism of action, the chances of resistance is low, but slowly the insect will pick resistant to new molecules also. That is pretty common. Then old pesticide, take the case of DDT, it has slow degradation, whereas new molecules are degrade pretty quickly. DDT, BHC and all, it persists in the environment for longer time, but the newer molecule, it degrades very fast. And older insecticides we used to get available in one, maximum 2 formulation. Take Quinalphos, Acalex, one of the oldest pesticide. It is available only in one formulation, maximum 2. In Kerala and all, it is available in one formulation, that is EC formulation. But new molecules are available in different kind of formulation, single pesticide. Say, Abhi was discussing about a pesticide called as Regent. Regent is available in three different formulation. One is SC, suspension concentrate, that was what Abhi was discussing. Then WG, water dispersible granule, and granule for broadcasting in rice fields. So a single pesticide available in different formulation. And there are certain kind of newer kind of packaging, water soluble packaging and all is available nowadays. I told you handling powders is difficult. There is a chance of inhalation hazard doing weighing and all. So companies have come out with water soluble packaging. There will be one typical pesticide is diphenthiourone, Pegasus. It is available in 25-gram packet. You open the printed packet, you will have the pesticide in a very small packet inside it. That packet, 25-gram packet, dissolve in 25 liters of water. The packet itself will dissolve in water. So there is no need for weighing out the pesticide, and during the weighing, inhalation hazard and all that can be avoided. Okay, I will finish it for today. Tomorrow onwards, we will start new molecules one by one. Are you getting bored with pesticides? Everyday pesticides?